Hello, how are you? I need brows. A lot, but better. It's gonna tone it down. Okay. Hey, let's do our eyes. I've been playing with an eye look method, and I love when I can take a method. I'm using SEINT makeup. You can use this with whatever you want. Okay, I'm gonna dive into my primer first. I have maturing eyes. My makeup sits different. My face is changing a little differently every day, and with that, I change my eye makeup. I need to pin this hair back. I just took it down too because I feel like the cowardly lion. But we're gonna take this hair, we're gonna pin this up out of the way. That way I'm not just like the weird hair touching person, which I know is something that bugs. If I were king of the forest, boy howdy. Okay, we're gonna put on our primer. I talk about this all the time. Singen's Shadow Sense, the color is Candlelight, and there is a link for it. I also use BK Beauty 203, just want to make sure, yep, 203, and I am going to press this out with a brush. I find that my eyeshadow gets even more longevity. If I use my finger, I think the oils mixed with the formula, it can cause premature creasing. Okay, sorry, I hate saying but I prefer pressing this out with a brush because I just think my eyeshadow will last longer, and heck, I might just have to sleep in it, who knows. I should test that out and sleep in my eyeshadow to see how long it lasts. I got a lot of comments about this eye look yesterday, and I'm not gonna lie, I had a video, but it had no talking because my dog was going berserk. Berserk. I'm gonna grab some setting powder, and we're gonna set this, and I'm just sticking with this brush. This is the only product I'll dip into after the primer. I don't use this brush as an eyeshadow brush. I like neutral and my primer on here, and that's it. But I'm just doing this. Shadows blend better on top of shadows, so I always have some kind of powder laid down, and it works out really great. And I'm just gonna clean up under the eyes with this because I really want to focus on my outer corner and my inner corner being kind of neutral. That's where this is. We're gonna open our eyes up. I'm gonna elongate my eyes. I love the way that this look has been coming together. Okay, I'm also using a new mascara. This is by Babe Lash. I just got their eyelash primer, and to get free shipping, I needed to add a little bit more, and that little bit more just happened to be the same price as their mascara. So I got their For Real mascara. I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna get out there. It's a good mascara. I typically use Bare Minerals Lashtopia. I like these chunky, gross looking spoolies. It probably dates me. This one has one of those plastic ones, and it has this weird little tip. It's a domey tip, so you can get in and do this and this. I like it. I love that one. I really genuinely I love that one. Okay, the colors I'm using today are Claire Basic, which I haven't used in a while, but Claire Basic, Drift, and Coco. I would prefer Philly. Philly is not available, and I will not use it while it's not available because that's just mean. I'm going to use the Blur brush. This has a nice big domey end. If you have small eyes and this is too big, eyeshadow brush is great. It's exactly the same except this end is smaller. I'm going to go into Drift first, and we're going to pop that up here under the brow. I like a good champagne shimmer. If you have, what are the other colors? There's Drift, there's Sabrina, and there's Rome. Any of those will work. I feel like Rome is quite a bit darker. Sabrina's a bit more brighter. This is a good mid. It's whatever you want. It doesn't matter. I'm going to use Claire. I have a hair. I'm going to use Claire as my transition color. I know it's not Leo. I like a little bit, I wanted a little bit of pink today. So we're gonna take that on the more dense end, and I'm gonna pop this really high. This is gonna add a really pretty brightness to the eye, and I'm putting it up on my brow bone because I'm hooded. And some people like to tell me I'm not, but let me just rest my face. And as I turn to the side, do you see this? I am hooded. I'm not hooded enough for some people. Okay, I'm gonna put this way up high. I go out past the outer corner. I push it in. I typically do my eyeshadow first. And the reason I'm not is because for this look, I really wanted to be able to explain this and have you see the full effect. because I feel like eyeshadow looks best when your makeup's all the way on. That's just me and how I want to talk about this look. But again, I would do this first on a normal everyday basis. Okay, putting that pink Claire up here. I feel that Claire is the most pigmented out of the pinks. It's going to show up more than Paris, more than Mama. Claire shows up best on me. I've seen other ones do different. Yeah. Okay, the next color I'm going into is Basic. I'm doing this as a transition color also, but I like the way that it works with Claire. I like that brightness that Claire brings rather than doom and gloom, brown, fall, bleh. So I use a bright, you can use Leo, you can use Claire. I'm trying to think of other ones, Havana. But if you don't want to use those orange tones because it pulls you full Oompa Loompa, I get it. Claire is a great option. Okay, I'm taking Basic, which is a nice light brown. It's lighter than Oak, which is what I typically use. And I'm just keeping that at the base of the brow bone, going straight out and going across above the crease. I'm staying out of the crease because I don't want to accentuate my hooded eye. I want to give the illusion that it's not hooded. And because my hood is so prominent out here, I really focus on pulling straight out. And that's how I like it. Play with the eyeshadow. Find the placement you like. Stay with it. And then change out colors. Okay. Basic, again, base of the brow bone, above the crease. If it goes into the crease, it's not that big of a deal. But I'm just sticking it straight out, and there we go. Keeping it light and bright. I need a fluffy brush. I gotta clean up under here. It's getting a little out of pocket. I'm gonna leave the under eye for the most part alone for right now. I'm gonna switch to the etch brush. I always wanna call this the smudge brush. or my eye, because I used to use this and I think I called it a smudge brush. I think it's like an eye shader. We don't need to get into details. Etch brush, short end. I'm gonna go into Coco, pressing it on a good amount, and I'm just gonna focus this on the outer part of my eye, along the lash line, and then I'm just working it out kind of like a wing, but also up onto that brow bone, and then just blending it in and softening it, going into the crease, just above the crease, but I'm building out here. Does this make sense to you? I'm very teachy in my tutorials. Hopefully you like it. Okay, but I push in and I'm not going to the mid, but do you see how this is working out? But I always try to fill in right in that where it creases so that there's not a gap. You see that gap from my hood that people think I don't have? I'm gonna fill it in all the way up. Okay, we're gonna fill it in. I have a lot of movement on my lids, and if you have mature eyes, you have the same problem. Tap, tap to blend it around, and it works just great. I stay above that outer corner. I'm gonna take my etch brush and I'm just gonna give everything a little blendy poo. I like switching to a bigger brush to blend it out, and it's really pretty. But I'm giving myself length and lift by working out and up like that. Can you guys hear my rooster? Okay, grabbing Coco, same thing over here, focusing on the outer part of the eye, and then we're gonna build it up. I can actually close this eye. I can't on the other one. I definitely did not win my husband over with winking across the room, because I'm like, hey, wouldn't be married today if I did that. All right, so again, we're just gonna build this out, build this up. Just checking to see how they match. They're sisters, not twins. If you were to see my sister, maybe I should do a side-by-side where I do the same colors with my sister, because we don't look anything alike. She is the night to my day. Okay, I think I got it. I need a little more. Oops, wrong brush. Okay, tapping on a little more over here, and then I'm gonna clean her up some more. I need to add my makeup again on my cheeks. Okay, I'm gonna take Drift, and I keep my mid and inner alone. It's gonna make me look more open, and I'm gonna take my nice shimmery Drift, and we're just gonna apply this to the inner corner out, like that. Look at how pretty that is. It just livens things up. It brightens things up. Like, look at that. Bam. It's really just working this way, but with a little bit of lift. I love it. I'm loving, loving, loving my eye shape at the end of this. Okay, here's where things have changed. Okay, this is pretty similar to what I always do. I'm having a little problem right here. This is bothering me. I feel like it's giving swooping. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna stay with my edge brush. I'm gonna grab Coco, and we are gonna stay in the middle, and we are gonna go up and out, up and out. But we are not touching this corner or this corner, okay? Grabbing it again, staying in the middle. I always dot in the middle and then I work it on its way outward, but I stay off going into the corners. So this gives me that smoky definition that I like, but I'm not closing my eye up by going to the corners, okay? I'm gonna take what's left and I'm gonna go on this upper inner corner here. I typically do this with a liquid liner, but I'm doing this with my eyeshadow instead to add a softness and not so harsh. But I'm doing that on the inner edge between where my lashes stop and the inner corner. And it adds just that little, it's little things that make a difference. We're gonna switch to this bigger end. We're gonna go to our brightening highlight. You could also do this with your main highlight. Okay, I'm actually gonna use my lighter summer shade. Does that make sense? I'm going into hazel. It's too light for me. And I'm going to waterline. Gonna waterline right here and right here. Easy, easy, easy. Okay, you don't need to go buy a separate pen. You already got it right here. Now we're gonna take our eyeliner. I am gonna use a liquid. And I'm gonna use my favorite Maybelline Tattoo Studio, and I'm just gonna waterline the top. This is something that takes practice. Looking down is 100% needed. And I'm just filling in between the lashes, but I'm also, this is gonna give the illusion that my eyeliner goes all the way across. This is gonna fill in the mascara and make my eyelashes look fuller. So we're just gonna get the other side. I go until my lashes stop growing. I don't go to the inner corner. I go about a quarter of the way from the inner corner. So 3/4 of the lid here, but also pressing into the lashes a little bit to again, fill in. Now I'm gonna take my liquid liner that I just swear that I had. Yes, I did, right here. This is Stila Stay All Day. Don't get the one with the white tip. It's a waste of your money. And if you're like me and don't return, you're gonna be mad every time you pick it up. All right, we're gonna take it. I like this little felt tip. It's not a brush, so it's not so loosey-goosey. We go a quarter of the way in, and I do a tiny but mighty wing. I come up about 1 millimeter from my outer corner, and I draw that wing, but I'm very aware of where my eyelid crease goes, because my crease falls lower than my outer corner for where the hood falls, and I keep my wing within that fold because I hate that bat wing look. It's not for me. It's just a little too edgy for this basic mom. And I don't like it to swoop. I like it to be straight out. And it just gives that eye that length and that little darkness that gives it that lift. You see how it's coming together and elongating the eye? That's what it is for me. So we're going a quarter of the way in. We draw straight out, go a quarter of the way up from the corner, and then we draw that wing. Just being really aware of where our personal eye hood creases. Because I don't, again, want to go outside of that. I don't like the bat wing look. I've had people ask me to do it, and every time I do, I feel like I need to do it in October. That's how I feel I went into it. Dang it. It's okay. All right, so I have my little tiny but mighty wing. I mean, I've had somebody say, why even bother? Because I like it, that's why. But I like the way that this makes my eyes look a little more open, a little more youthful, wide, and lifted. It's so good. Now we add the mascara, and I'm gonna fast forward through this part because I feel the need to talk, and my voice starts to annoy me sometimes. So Let's go. Okay. Tell me this just, I feel good when I do my eye makeup like this. Like I have eye confidence like this. And it's not that far off from what I used to do, but it's these little tweaks that have made a difference. They've made the littlest difference that make the biggest difference. Just skipping that outer corner right there opened up my eye more, adding that little bit of waterline. It's not too light. That's why I'm not using something bright like that my white peach, which is my typical brightening highlight. I go a little bit darker, and you can just use your main highlight, but it doesn't over punch it to where you look like you're trying to look like a doll. That was always my biggest thing of why I never waterlined with a white. It was very, very popular back in the late 90s when I went to prom. But for me, I just want to look, I want to feel the most confident without feeling like I'm costumed. But I think it gives a nice natural finish. It's not overdone. It opens up my eye, gives it a more youthful look, gives it lift. I mean, I'm 43. And the deeper into my 40s I get, it's not that I don't want to be, but you know what 40 used to look like to some, you know, then we fluff up the hair and now I can go grocery shopping. What do we think about this middle part? It's a hard transition for me, but every time I've done my deep parts, this piece over here just always bothered me, and I feel like I'm finally at a length, because for a long time, this is where I talk about hair too much. My top was about this long from breakage, from being blonde, and from my water issue that we've gotten fixed. What do we think about this middle part? Is this a midlife crisis hair? I kind of like it. I feel a little jazzy. I feel a little spicy. Like, come at me, please. Like, oh, I feel like I need big hoops. Like, I'm going by jewelry today. This is jewelry hair with my Amazon t-shirt. I'm gonna put a link for this t-shirt because it's buttery soft and they're a good price. So in the description, I'm gonna add an extra link to get this t-shirt. It's buttery soft if you need a sleep shirt. If I sized up, I'm typically a true medium. I'm wearing a large. I've just plugged a shirt on my makeup video, but what do we think of the middle part? Are we here for it? Are we not? Okay, that's my eye look. Yes, it was a long tutorial for eyes, but I'm really loving these little tweaks a lot. Have a great day.